Small little TT. You can see my little S-bend in the thing there. But yeah, that's my Honda CT. This is my review of the Honda CT with the lifan engine. A couple of years going now. She's going strong. She is going strong. So yeah, what can I say about the CT? I don't know. Stuff that I do like, stuff that I don't like. I think I'll start with all the negatives. Speed. Whatever you... Like, the lifan engine is a fast engine, as in it can go about 55. I've had 55 out of mine cruising all the way down. Exactly the same engine, by the way, exactly the same engine. So this engine that I've got in the bike now originally was in one of my Cubs, and when I got the CT, I thought the cheapest, quickest option is to strip out the Honda Cub and just transfer it all across, basically. So that's what I did. I basically just transferred it all across to the to this bike, almost. Well, just the engine anyway. The carburetor, no, and the exhaust, no. So the exhaust and the carburetor are the limiting factor on the CT. So I think it's more to do with the exhaust, because I have changed the jets and I have messed around with the exhaust a bit, but nothing has helped really, because well, no matter what I do, I can only get about 37 cruising, and anything higher than that, it just starts struggling a bit. So that's the speed issue, no matter what you put. If you were to change the exhaust, I reckon you can get more, because I've been told that it's that tight up sweat part is very thin, and that part is the part that it struggles. What's this doggo doing? Oh, there's a car coming in as well. The carburetor is the limiting factor, so it will never get your fast speeds unless you change the exhaust to like a big fat downpipe one off a pit bike, and then you're changing the looks of the bike, I think, because I really like having that standard upswept exhaust. It all kind of just about fits. You can watch the build series of how it all goes in. It's a bit of a pain, but I can tell you, is it worth it? I don't know, to be honest. I mean, I'd rather have the original engine, but it's just the fact that you can't run an original engine with 12 volts, because all the engines are 6 volt engine. I mean, I have the original engine and I could just put it back in, but it's a 6 volt. I don't like 6 volts. I don't know what I'm doing with them. That's just my experience. And if I need any parts for it, the problem is, because it's a bike that was never sold in Europe, some of the parts can be hard to get, and I just don't want to wait. I just do not want to wait for parts to come in the post before I can get back on the road with a lifan. And when I mean wait, I mean like months, because everything has to come from pretty much Australia. So finding UK stock can be the issue. So putting the lifan engine in was kind of a no-brainer, and also the fact that these bikes can be picked up as non-runners for kind of cheap. When I mean cheap compared to how much a fully running bike like this would cost, around £4,000, which is silly money, really. You can get stuff for £4,000. You can get stuff that's much cheaper, probably much, more faster, I'd say. I wouldn't say, I don't know if capable or whatever, but it's just because it's a classic. It's that lovely bike. I'm a fan. That's why I wanted it. That's the only reason I really wanted it. The fact that it's just a nice little, cool little Honda. It's unique. Not a lot of people have got them in the UK. I know they're dime a dozen in Australia. I know people throw away the bikes as scrap. But what is it like? Well, I mean, if you're new to my video, if you've never seen my channel before, for the past couple of years I've done loads of stuff on this bike. So I've done, I think, around 4,500 miles. 4,500 miles on this bike. I've been through a set of tyres already on it, and yeah, it's fine. It's doable. You can do all the trips. I've put camping on it. The Wales trip is probably the where I went, and that was some hardcore trails. That was it was a very deep water there, and definitely put the snorkel to the test, which is kind of cool. But yeah, for me, for now, this is fantastic little bike. Backcountry lanes like this sort of thing, where it's only going to go about 30-40 mile an hour anyway, single track roads, it's purely what I love it for. and it's just great. The best thing about, of course, is the massive petrol tank range, even with the lifan and everything. You know, my bike was a 110 originally, so it's like for like, so it's not really like anything like that. But the only thing I've changed with the carburetor is one jet, because the other jet was blocked and I could not clear it. It was like, it's like a grain of sand. I don't know what's in it, I just can't get it cleared. So other than that, oh great, it's starting to rain now, lovely. That's the thing I don't like about, that's the only other thing I do not like about this CT, the fact that there is zero weather protection. I have no screen. I'm keeping it stock. I probably don't want to put a screen on it. It's been about 1.5 years now. I think if I really wanted a screen, I'd put it on there. Nothing here, not even a petrol tank. And if you ride a step through, or if you've ridden a step through before, or you know, you've ridden a motorbike before, you know that the petrol tank can protect your nether region, shall we say. But yeah, it gets very chilly down here. There's lots of air circulating. So in the cold weather, today it's about, I think we're plus 10, so or plus 9, it's fine. That's fine. I can just about bear that. But like anything colder than that, after a while, you'll start to freeze. Like your whole head to toe starts to freeze. The legs get cold. My legs are feeling a bit breezy at the moment. I mean, this is lovely in the summer and hot countries and stuff. And when we had that heat wave a couple of years ago, oh, that was lovely on this. It was fine. I had no problem. I'm getting no heat off the engine. I'm not getting anything like that. It was lovely. I had no problem with it at all. So yeah, I really, you know, that's literally the two downsides I don't like about the bike. And they're not even like massive problems really, if you think about it. The bike is doing about 100 miles to the gallon, just under, so about 90, I think about 90 to 100 miles to the gallon, which gets me about 75 miles, and then it hits reserve, which is about, around gets about 3.5 litres, that's enough. And then after that, I know that I can go, I've actually gone about 20 miles on my reserve, and I still didn't drain it, so I was like, okay, that's well impressive. But having the big tank is so nice, because if it trips 200 miles, I mean that I only need to stop once for fuel, whereas on a Honda Cub, that's like 2 or 3 times, it's at least 3 times. Oh, there's a big puddle on this road. And my mudguard's come off. Well, I don't actually have a mudguard for this mud flap, but so yeah, that's oh, it's all coming up anyway. Luckily I've got a mudguard on here. Oh, it's like a river. I need to get a new pair of boots. There's a slight hole in mine. Oh, it's like a little river coming out of here. Right, unsuitable for motor vehicles, that's fine. So I think we've got a river in here then. We have got a river. What? I've never, wow, that's interesting. That's a nice rut. Oh, I see, the guy's trying to block it so it goes down the side. Interesting. That's a quick river that is today, isn't it? Like I say, we've had a lot of rainfall recently, a heck of a lot of rainfall, and yeah, I've never seen it like that before. Oh yeah, but yeah, it's just a nice little bike. It's not a quick bike, but I'm just taking it easy today. I mean, I'm not running or gunning it. I mean, yeah, it can give a little bit of power, and it's fast enough in the trails and stuff. Can keep up with most things. Okay, when it gets a bit rough and rocky, the suspension gives up. But you know, it's such a small bike. It's not designed for the hardcore enduro. It's just designed to be I don't know, your farm bike, your track bike. Yeah, it's just, I don't know, it's just having this little bike. It's the best cub I've ever had. You can literally go anywhere with it. Okay, it's not the quickest cub, but yeah, it's just fantastic. But yeah, I mean, you got plenty of room for your luggage. I love that I love the look of the exhaust, but you got loads of room for your luggage. I've got all my tools on the front. With the 12 volts, I've got my nice big bright headlight. That's much bigger than a standard Honda Cub headlight, or the square small one, or the small round one. Yeah, it's got everything you kind of need on it. Just the basics, and it goes lovely. Goes lovely. yeah, I'm a bit annoyed about this though. I've had to change that because a car hit me, and that all got broken, so I had to replace a new one, so the rest of the bike doesn't have this lovely, like, I was sitting in the sun for 30 years look. So I need to have like 30 years of UV damage or something. I don't know where this bike was kept, but it's pretty tidy, the frame is. There was minimal rust on it. Might have been kept in like an open, clear top thing, so the sun could have come through and it kept dry or something. Yeah. It's just a nice little trail bike, and it handles fine, pulls alright, you know. I mean, the CT has been reviewed so many times, so what is there to add? Only my take on it and what it's like with the lifan. And okay, maybe some people are gonna get, you know, still get upset saying, oh, you should keep it to the thing, but these bikes in other countries are like just almost disposable. In like Australia and stuff, they pick them up for a dime a dozen, you know. Maybe one day that will stop happening, but I see it all the time. People say, oh yeah, I picked up a new CT for about $300, it's not working, what's the thing I should do? And of course they don't want to spend any money on it because they spent no money on it, so they don't want to spend any money on it to get it going, so they're often just like, oh, I'll just chuck it in the bin, or, you know, whatever. And then there's some weird problems in the States with these bikes because they got the word trail in them, and people in certain states have in America have problems registering it. But yeah, once you have one of these, you join all the forums and you read everyone's problems. The UK, there's not very many of them at all. Nathan Millwood probably has like 90% of them, and then like a few others have, like me, we have one or two dotted about, but that's about it. So this lifan engine, people do ask, you know, but the lifan is kind of like a proven engine. Proven. It's proved itself. So it's done about 4,000 miles in this bike, and it's done about 2,000 miles in the other. So about 6,000 miles. So maybe when it gets to 7,000 miles, that's when they start to have issues. But we'll see how it goes, because this bike hasn't been ragged, you know, I'm not ragging its engine as hard on this bike because it can't. So it might last longer, I don't know. But most people keep them pinned. Like, if you think about pinning them on a motorway or something, holy cow, that's a lot of cyclists. If you think about pinning it on a motorway or something, and that's what happens. They can fail on you. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, I'm about 6,000 miles on this lifan engine. It's a footpath. There's the byway. Here's the byway. It's always a bit tricky to find this one. Oh, it's a bit overgrown in there, isn't it? I think it's been here for a while. Okay, well, it's a good thing I tested this out. Oh, bracken's in the way. Oh, come on, little buddy. Yes, we're in. Oh, that's another good thing about this bike. You can pretty much get it through anywhere, as long as you're man enough. There's a section of my indicators are still attached because it was very tight there. Yes and yes. Good. Oh, well, I know once you're in, but still. Oh, it's tight there. Oh, my front fender might have got a scratch on it now. My 40-year-old bike with its brand new fender. Oh, the only other thing I've done for this bike is I've changed the foot pegs. So I've got folding foot pegs on off a pit bike, which are all right. They're not the best. They're cheap, you know, nasty ones or whatever. But they've lasted all this time. Ooh, let's actually stop here a second. I can show you what I mean. So yeah, got them cheap, nasty foot pegs on. Which are all right. They got a bit bent, but they still, you know, reasonably work. A part of me might change them later for some more heavy-duty ones. I do have a set of heavy-duty ones at home, actually, and it does work with the original side stand. But the ground is so soft here, it's going to fall right over. So that's the cheap ones. The standard foot pegs actually come up a little bit higher, so you have a smaller seating triangle, shall we say. Your legs would sit up a little bit hunched up more, which is fine if you're used to it and stuff, but I thought, you know what, if I can have the extra leg room by about a millimetre, then why not? I'll take it. And then I'm not sitting on rubber, because when you're sitting on rubber foot pegs, they can slip off. Just kick this out the way. There we go. Oh, they've cleared this end. This side's been cleared up. The other side needs really... Oh, please don't tell me there's a load of rubbish dumped here. Oh no. The only thing you have to like check on... Okay, things to worry about with these bikes. Parts can be a problem. So you might, if you know something breaks, you can get the parts. Generally, you just have to pay a lot of money for them. For like, when I mean a lot of money for them, I don't mean like they're super expensive, like BMW parts or something. I just think that they're expensive compared to other Honda parts, or under Honda. Like if you compare Honda Cub parts to this, these parts are so expensive because you have to usually import them. So like the airbox stuff like that can cost a lot of money just to get a really beat up one, sort of thing, and that's what you have to get. I mean, a part of me would be considering buying a bigger 3D printer so I can 3D print the entire airbox, because someone has released has done 3D printing parts for it. I've actually 3D printed some parts for this. I've 3D printed some parts for another CT. Okay, so it's a good thing I'm on this little bike. So this is all clay. This is all clay, so this is really slippery, and I've slipped. Okay, so I'm going to have to get out the bike and push. Oh, I'm actually stuck. So I actually got myself stuck in there. Right then. Oh dear. Beached myself. I'll lean the bike over a bit and... There we go. Whew. Oh, that is a sticky situation. Oh yeah. Dip the little CT. Makes its way through again. This is all clay, so it's super slick. If I'm going to go out with some newbies, I'm not taking them down this road, because I can't even keep it straight with the CT. Whoa! I can't even keep it straight on this, because the problem is all the leaves are hiding the rut, and you hit the rut, and then the back end just wants to come out. It's like ice, almost. Not quite as bad as ice. It's definitely up there, though. Ooh, definitely up there. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo! That's not me, that's just me just going... Just be gentle with the throttle. Although a part of me wants to just crack it, because I just enjoy skidding out a bit, you know? Bit of fun having the back end spin out on you. I don't know if this is a review or my thoughts on it or whatever, but yeah, I just thought I'd share all my thoughts about the bike, on how it's performed over the 2 years. And of course, if you do want to get into trail riding, I did not mean to do that. I did the same thing last time I came around here, actually. If you do want to get into trail riding, I always recommend joining the TRF or something, because that's a good way to get started. I can't make this up. I'm not actually moving, I'm just spinning the wheel. Right, that is how soft it is. This bike weighs nothing, yet I can barely move. And I've got knobbies on. Barely moving on this lane. This is so soft. I can't put the bike down, I can't do anything. That is so soft. Right, so I'll end the video here. I hope you enjoyed it. I don't know, some of it's been, you know, just the bike is fine, you know, whatever. I hope it's been informative or whatever. There's the whole build series. I'll link below maybe in the description, and I'll link below the Wales trip as well, because that trip is pretty good, pretty good, and they've removed the obstruction. That's good. I swear that house kept on blocking it. Oh, it doesn't tell me this is locked. I don't think so.